Hey guys, we have some shifting vibes to talk about today. Venus leaving Virgo, entering the sign of Libra today. Libra is her home sign. Venus is the ruler of Libra. We are also in a new moon in Libra cycle right now. So Venus entering Libra is really putting the emphasis on these Libra vibes. Relationships, what we want, what we desire, luxury, pleasure. This type of thing may really be sort of what is motivating us over this next couple of weeks while Venus is transiting her home sign. This is also doing a lot, I think, to sort of take us out of like any like hermit mode or more withdrawn or introverted energy we may have been experiencing over the past couple weeks with Mercury retrograde and Venus in Virgo, and really like pushing us back out into the social scene. Conversations, relating with others, social graces, like I was saying, pleasure and just indulging perhaps. Like these are the type of things that are likely to be occupying our attention more over this next couple of weeks. And there's also with this a strong push for like resolution and rebalancing things, problem solving energy. Justice restored is also very much coming through with this. However, on the other hand, we have this like energy polarization playing out right now, which is not really that surprising considering that we actually do have Mars in the sign of Gemini ruling our energy and polarities. But while we do have this more jovial, social, also very Jupiterian influence as well coming in today and tomorrow, we simultaneously have Saturn moving back into exact square with Uranus, which is a very difficult transit that has probably been contributing to a lot of the, well, on one hand, major upheavals and changes that have been happening unexpectedly in our lives over the past couple of years, but also, just presenting us with some obstructions to our plans or to our progress, or just really disheveling things for us, up leveling the foundation that we're standing on or that we've been standing on in one way or another. This energy is coming back, you guys, but this time I feel like it's coming back to seek some type of resolution in the context of all this problem solving energy that we have going on right now, and all of the energy that's also pushing for harmonization, justice, balance, and like I said, the resolution of things. So we've got a lot to talk about that is going to be playing out over this next couple of days, you guys. Let's look at the chart, let's see what's going on and what we may be able to anticipate in our experience as this energy unfolds. Welcome back to my channel, you guys. Today is Thursday, September 29th, 2022. My name is Aubrey, and this is your astrological outlook of the day. In this particular report, I'm actually going to be talking about the energy for today, Thursday, and also tomorrow, Friday. And then tomorrow, when I would usually put out my weekend video, I'm going to be putting out my October overview. So you guys are probably going to want to catch that one as well, because it's going to give us a summary and sort of an outlook of what's going to be unfolding and the major themes that are going to be coming at us, and that the lessons that universe is guiding us towards throughout the month of October. For today, though, we are closing out our month of September. We are talking about the energy that we have present to put the period at the end of this month. So to start for Thursday, September 29th, the main thing that we have going on today is Venus is leaving Virgo, like I said, and entering the sign of Libra. This is putting Venus in like all of her glory in her home sign, an emphasis definitely on relationships, finances, material pleasures, material comforts, socializing, relating to others, equal exchanges of ideas, like justice, balance, peace, harmony, beauty, aesthetics, all of this type of stuff likely to take some type of prominence now and over this next couple of weeks. But as Venus is moving into Libra today, and also, like I was saying, like we're sort of leaving this more introverted, withdrawn, secluded, like hermit mode, Venus, Virgo type of energy, we also have a Sagittarius moon playing out today. The moon is leaving Scorpio, entering the early degrees of Sagittarius, and when we have a planet in early Sagittarius right now, that forms a trine to Jupiter himself in the early degrees of Aries. And Sagittarius, where the moon is moving today, is of course ruled by Jupiter. So while we have the moon in Sagittarius, that means the moon will also be forming a trine to Jupiter. So there's double Jupiter right there. The moon in the sign of Sagittarius, like embodying and representing and bringing up these Jupiterian themes and qualities, and simultaneously also aspecting Jupiter. But it's not just that, right? Jupiter right now is at the very early degrees of Aries. Jupiter has been retrograding. Jupiter is currently at 4 degrees of Aries. The sun right now is at 7 degrees of Libra. Over this past week, the sun has been forming an opposition to Jupiter, and this has been again like putting an emphasis and a highlight on these Jupiter vibes. And now that we have Venus having entered the sign of Libra, we also have her forming an opposition to Jupiter. So she's ruling this Libra cycle. She's ruling all the energy right now. So this is putting a really big emphasis, you guys, on Jupiter himself and his influence in whatever is playing out throughout the course of the day today. And the moon in Sagittarius. This is an emotional, like a very expanded, like emotional understanding of things and like seeing the bigger picture. And this is also like looking for a truth and like an expanded belief about something, just the opening our eyes, and the opposition to the Jupiter himself being in the opposition to the sun, gaining some type of personal truth about something, now opposing Venus in regards to relationships, a personal truth about how we want to relate to ourselves and others going forward, and like what risks we want to take at this point in time to sort of be independent also perhaps of maybe some of the relationship dynamics of the past that are no longer serving us. And we've been going through a Mercury retrograde period and like 6 planets in retrograde period that has really had a lot to do with us rediscovering our preferences, like rediscovering what it is that we truly want. And now we have Venus moving into the sign of Libra, and we're about to have Mercury we're about to have Mercury going direct, and we've got all of this Jupiter energy, and it's like we're figuring it out. Like we've sort of gone through this process. We're sort of getting back on the same page with ourselves, and we are realigning and rediscovering and coming to a point where we are starting to like begin to embody these shifts and changes that have been going on in terms of our preferences and what we want and what we desire. And then when we have this Mars Saturn energy going on right now too, we are coming to a place where we are ready to actually act on these things. It's like Venus entering the sign of Libra. We are coming to a point where we are like really affirming what it is that we have rediscovered about our own selves and what we truly want and desire at this point in time. And we are about to start in this Mars Saturn energy, really creating some solutions, taking some action, making some choices, making some decisions that are a representative of that truth that we have come to, of that desire, of that like relationship with ourselves and our own internal value that we have rediscovered throughout this period of time. We're about to start acting on it. We're about to start moving forward. And I feel like what we are discovering as well in the context also of Saturn retrograding back into a square with Uranus this weekend is going to help us actually make some progress to overcome some of these limitations or some of these setbacks or some of these frustrations to our progress and our growth that we may have been dealing with for a period of time right now. Like I was saying, these like upheavals and these ground shifts that may have been really rocking our world. Like I feel like what we're gaining in this energy now and the alignment that we are coming to within ourselves is really like going to be doing a lot to help us finally like break through those barricades or begin to really move forward in a direction, or to like whatever is still disheveled or whatever is still out of place or whatever is still like lacking alignment for us, I feel like is going to start coming back together as a result of some type of solution or goal or objective or shift that has gone on within us, to help us begin to really move forward and really recreate, our world in alignment with that which we are discovering we really want to experience and to embody as a result of these changes that have gone on. So highly creative day though that we have playing out with this shift from the Venus in Virgo to the Venus in Libra in combination with all of this Jupiter energy. And not only that, before the moon actually moves into the sign of Sagittarius this weekend, it is also going to be forming a trine to Neptune in the early part of the day today. So this is also bringing like some very strong psychic energy, very strong intuitive energy, very strong ability to like receive some divine inspiration that is sort of fueling and feeding into this expanded creative potential, especially in regards of problem solving stuff that we may be like needing to resolve things at this point in time. There is really strong potential for like some just higher spiritual understanding or truths or guidance or something along those lines to be coming through in this energy today. Highly creative day. Awesome for any type of art, music, or just creative activities. Generally, like any type of creative projects that you need to do or that you have going on, like they have a very strong likelihood of having a pretty tangible like success or gaining some type of recognition or reward in the context of the energy that's playing out now. Things that we are building, things that we are creating, things that we are putting concentrated like time and effort and energy into right now are likely to be rewarded, successful, and pay off pretty bigly in the long run, in the context of these transits as they are playing out. Shifts in what we want, and they are being more solidified. We are definitely realizing this. People exiting the hermit mode, more social out and about, like I was saying, getting dressed up more, paying more attention to appearances as well when we have Venus in the sign of Libra. Focus on beauty and aesthetics very much in this energy. Pleasure, enjoyment, peace, and the emphasis also relationships, money, what we want and what we desire. We also, in the Libra energy, there is this reconciliation energy. There is this just wanting to rebalance and to reharmonize things. Venus in Libra wants everyone to get along. This is not a confrontational energy. This is not combative, like hostile, like polarizing energy. We got that going on with Mars and Gemini for sure. But with Venus and Libra, like this is sort of not wanting to rock the boat, like wanting everybody to be happy, wanting everyone to get along. And that is another dimension of what may be, you know, taking more of a prominence over this next few weeks, looking to restore the peace, harmony, and relations with others. And we have this problem solving energy. This is very positive mediation energy too. We want to see both sides. We want to compromise, like compromises, mediations, like those type of solutions can really have a likelihood of going on in this energy as it's playing out right now as well. And again, it's adding to this problem solving energy, like I was saying, that we have with Saturn and Mars right now in the air trine energy. The moon in the trine to Neptune today, very deep feelings, highly sensitive, strong intuition and psychic energy. And we should pay attention to that type of stuff. Emotional release can also be associated with this, as we're talking about the moon in Scorpio. This is some very deep emotions. Neptune, this is a planet of sort of releasing and breaking things down. So this can also sort of like through like some type of spiritual connection or like just like higher spiritual like understanding or like intuition. Again, the spiritual guidance that is very palpable in the air today could be assisting in some type of emotional release or emotional healing as well. Also enhancing creativity, like I said, bringing divine inspiration and motivating us to create in this Mars Saturn trine energy as well. We may just feel like divinely inspired to make something happen, to create something, to start working on something, to start planning something. And we should follow that if that intuition comes through in this energy. And then, of course, the Mars in Gemini trine Saturn in Aquarius. This is still very much in effect today and will be in effect through tomorrow. Now with Venus in Libra as well, we can really begin making progress towards reestablishing that justice, peace, balance within relationships. But like I was saying, this is a result of this problem-solving energy that is coming through to help us restore the peace, restore the balance, and just and it's not even, you know, like it can have a lot to do also with us making choices and decisions that are restoring a sense of inner peace and balance going on within us in the context of relationships as well. This is not just, you know, necessarily like a mediation or some type of compromise or something. This could also just be a choice or a decision that we are making at this point in time, or an action that we are taking that is bringing and restoring a sense of internalized peace and balance going on within us. So we really, you know, we've realized by now, like I was saying, with Venus now leaving Virgo, entering Libra, Mercury stationing soon and about to go direct on the 2nd of October, and in the context of this Mars Saturn energy, which is really helping us see the details of stuff. And we've had this moon in Scorpio, which has also been trying to help us see to the root of problems, the root issues, Pluto energy coming in. And we also have this Jupiter energy giving us an expanded perspective and an overall view. It's like we're sort of incorporating all of this, boiling all of it down, and it's helping us to realize what it is that we want. Like we're getting on that same page with ourselves and we're ready to act, to make some things happen. And I feel like, you know, with this other dynamic of the energy coming in, the Mars and square to Saturn coming in, I feel like this energy is preparing us to have a better experience encountering these issues than maybe we have had up until this point in time. In terms of the Sabian symbols that we have going on for Thursday, the sun is at a woman feeding chickens and protecting them from hawks, 7 degrees of Libra. To me, this is about what are we caring for? What are we putting our time and energy into cultivating now? What have we rediscovered through this process that we truly value and that we truly prioritize and that we really want to put our time and energy into? Mars and Saturn and trine to develop, to grow, to cultivate. Like what do we care about and what do we want to focus our energy on at this point in time? What is worth protecting to us? What is worth putting our time and our energy into to make sure that it is growing to its full bloom? And then with the earth today at 7 degrees of Aries, that Sabian symbol is a man successfully expressing himself in 2 realms at once. we are in the process of bridging worlds right now. We've sort of got one foot in like our old lives and like our old paradigm, and simultaneously we're going through this process of rediscovering our personal truth and what it is that we truly want and who it is that we truly are. And we're starting to step into that life and that paradigm and that world as well. And I feel like this is talking about, we're sort of straddling the cusp in this energy. We've got like one foot in and one foot out, and we're sort of like, also in this Libra energy, there is a balance going on. It is a successful expression in both realms at this point in time. Also, Jupiter and Aries right now opposing the Libra planets. I feel like talking about that, but I do feel like this Sabian symbol today is referencing that we may just sort of feel like we're sort of in between at this point in time. And then also I want to talk about the position of Mercury. Mercury is stationing to go direct very soon. He's at the degree where he will be turning direct right now, and that is 25 degrees of Virgo. And that Sabian symbol is a flag at half mast in front of a public building. So there may be like some more disappointing news that we are dealing with over this next couple of days, especially like I said, in the context of this Saturn-Uranus square that is coming back into effect. That aspect could have a tendency to be a little bit of a downer, and it definitely represents like breakdowns in things as well. And there may be some, more disappointing news or some like loss that we are dealing with and we're experiencing at this point in time in the context of maybe some challenges that are arising. But also on the other side, with all of this Jupiter energy and with this very strong Venus energy as well, and also with this Mars-Saturn energy, this trine energy going on, like, we have an ability to navigate around it in a way that is somehow leading to some type of positive outcome. Like, we're not letting it get us down in the same way that it may have in the past. So that's basically what we have playing out in terms of the energy on Thursday, this very highly creative day. We may be feeling very uplifted, very spiritually connected as well. And, the moon will leave Scorpio on Thursday and move into Sagittarius, where it will begin, like I was saying, setting us up with this trine to Jupiter. So, over the course of Thursday into Friday, there is the strong, positive, uplifting influence going on in the midst of also some like tension that may be building and some things that may really be coming to a head. But there is some very divinely inspired creative energy that we should definitely use to, sort of guide where we should be focusing our energy at this point in time. Let's move on now. Let's talk about Friday for a minute. Friday is the really, really big Jupiter influence day, because not only, like I was saying earlier when I began talking about this 2-day period, not only do we have the moon in Sagittarius ruled by Jupiter, but the moon is exact aspecting Jupiter. The sun is aspecting Jupiter. Venus is also aspecting Jupiter in the energy on Friday, even closer, 2-degree orbs off. So, and this trine that is going on is in fire signs as well. Jupiter is currently in the sign of Aries, which is ruled by Mars, who's in the trine with Saturn. So this Jupiter energy, whatever truth we're realizing, whatever is inspiring us, whatever like confidence and motivation we are experiencing being still in ourselves, like, is really being channeled into this Mars-Saturn trine that we have going on in the energy for Friday the 30th, because right now Jupiter himself is in the sign of Mars, Aries, and Mars is still in an exact trine with Saturn, this master builder energy on Friday. Huge Jupiter influence on Friday with all of this going on, the sun and the moon in aspect, and also Venus, enthusiastic, open-hearted, big-hearted, generally energy too. People should be sort of being their best selves, I would think. Like, people should be, even though we do have this tension building, and even though we do have this sort of like freedom versus like structure versus change sort of going on, and things building to a head, and perhaps some more difficult things from the past coming back up, it's like people are having a pretty positive attitude about it and being pretty like open-hearted and compassionate about things, like doing things out of the kindness of your heart. Like, this is what is just indicated as like a general motivation in the energy on Friday. People kind and agreeable to, but it's also bringing this like burning passion and desire to achieve a goal or objective or to create something tangible. Again, all of this Jupiter energy that is, the moon in Sagittarius and the trine to Jupiter, the sun opposite Jupiter, Venus ruling the cycle opposite Jupiter, it's all being channeled into this Mars-Saturn square. It's like, could also be bringing up this like passionate desire, also perhaps to like be independent and set off in a new direction and like take a risk as well, as something that may be coming up, a risk in love, a risk in money and relationships. I would wait, you guys, until Mercury goes direct, like I've been saying, but We may really be feeling very inspired, very confident, having a lot of faith and a lot of trust, and just very sort of like on top of our game and ready to like conquer the world. Like that may be like a general vibe that we were dealing with on Friday as this energy is coming into effect. Inspired to do the right thing as well. This is Jupiter's also a very moralistic planet, and it really encourages us and, aligns us with like morals and values and like higher understandings and philosophies and greater truths and stuff like that. This is also, people could be like really waking up to some higher truths about things. And like I said, seeing the big picture along with the details, though. Like this is also it's just a very positive and supportive combination of aspects that we have going on, to have all of this Jupiter energy, which is giving us an expanded perception, expanded understanding, expanded perspective and viewpoint, and overall view, like the bird's eye view of everything. But Mars and Saturn together, this helps us to see the details and the intricacies, and to have like a very focused, like, just like an ability to like pick out all of the little things and like see the fine print. So like on one hand, we're having this very expanded view of being able to like see the issue, like see what we're dealing with, like see what's really going on, seeing the truth of the matter. And on the other hand, we have an ability to like really go through it with like a fine tooth comb and really like point out everything that needs to be like fixed and changed and altered in order to make the whole thing work better, or to align with the newly discovered preferences and wants and desires and, what we wish to experience with this Venus energy as well. Positive attitude, positive mindset, and seeing this bigger picture, like I said, with the details and the intricates as well, to help us majorly solve problems and resolve things, because we are just having an ability to understand them from a much more complex and expanded level than we normally have an ability to, I guess, see. Us also embracing the truth of our heart and taking action accordingly. Jupiter opposite Venus, opposite the sun, the moon in Sagittarius, and the trine to Jupiter. This is seeing and aligning with the truth of our heart for sure, and then feeding into that Mars and Saturn energy and helping to like make a solid plan to take some positive action accordingly. So a lot going on, you guys, to do with relationships and us being true to our heart, because like I always say, at the end of the day, especially like in this 222 year, universe is really trying to rearrange and realign everything in the world for us right now in order to make way for us to really become who we were meant to be and attract and live the experiences that have always been waiting for us in alignment with the divine vision of our lives and experiences. And universe right now is trying to help us tap our potential, activate our destiny, go through a process of self-actualization so that we can live a life in alignment with experiences and relationships and circumstances and service that is truly fulfilling to us and truly makes us feel like we're thriving in our reality, and is just giving us a massive sense of purpose that is making it all worth it, and really allowing us to experience our own personal like golden age essentially in our own lives with this co-creation of our experience with God and universe from a place of conscious awareness. And that is what all of this is pushing towards, because that is how the transition into the age of Aquarius happens. And these shifts and changes this month of September has been really huge, you guys, in terms of helping us to redefine and rediscover the truth of our own heart and our own preferences. And now we're in this cardinal cycle, we're in this new moon and Libra period. This is when we are about to start really stepping into that, embodying that, and preparing to take action to really realign our lives in a way that reflects the changes that have gone on within us. We are in this cardinal action phase of the year, and things are about to start happening. But as we are closing out the month of September, this last couple days, it really is about this big divine inspiration, open-hearted energy, faith, trust, and belief in ourselves, recognizing the value and the resources and potential within us, feeling like we can take a risk to go in a new direction, reconnecting to the truth of our heart, and finding solutions to problems that have been blocking and preventing our ability to free ourselves from whatever has been standing in our way, whatever we've been attached to, whatever has been blocking our progress in that direction over this past couple of years since these shifts and changes actually started to happen. On Friday, we have the sun at 8 degrees of Libra. That Sabian symbol is a blazing fireplace in a deserted home. To me, this symbol is talking about a need to return to the heart space, to come back to that, like I was saying, like that burning passion, that burning fire and desire within us, to reconnect with the truth of who we are, and to use that as the fuel to ignite this process of self-actualization, this process of personal growth, this process of activating our destiny, rising into our potential so that we can realign our lives in a way with that which really does fulfill us on this heart and soul level. This is about returning to like the heart center and the, where we may have abandoned ourselves for quite a long period of time. We're coming back home to the truth of our heart in this energy, and with all this Jupiter energy and this Venus energy in the Libra cycle playing out today, this is being also perfectly described by the sun's placement itself at 8 degrees of Libra. Also, we have the Earth at 8 degrees of Aries on Friday, a large woman's hat with streamers blown by an east wind. This to me is a very mentalized degree. We're talking about a hat. This is the head. This is the mind, ideas, our thoughts. Streamers blown by an east wind. This is like streams of consciousness, fresh from the east, new. To me, this is like new perspectives that are coming in and sort of just like changing our mind and hitting us out of nowhere. These this return to this heart center that we are in the process of going through right now as we are shifting and changing our preferences based on these things that we are discovering and awakening to at this point in time, and all of this retrograde energy. I feel like this is talking about based on like it's causing this return to this heart center based on this shift in mindset, the shift of perspective, and this conscious awareness, this new awakening, this seeing things like in a whole new light, sort of an east wind that is just kind of hitting us, or the streams of thought that are coming to us at this point in time that are really shifting our perspective. We also have Mercury, like I said, stationed to 25 Virgo right now, a flag at half mast in front of a public building. We have Mars at moving to 21 degrees of Gemini today, a tumultuous labor demonstration. And we also have Saturn retrograding back to 19 degrees of Aquarius, a forest fire quenched, while we have Uranus currently 19 Taurus, a new continent is rising from the ocean. Challenges, losses, disappointment, but they are necessary for growth, evolution, conscious expansion in alignment with the universal blueprint right now at this point in time. And with Saturn moving to 19 Aquarius for this last square exact with Uranus, while Uranus is at a new continent rising from the ocean, a forest fire quenched. To me, this is saying, by this being the degree, I feel like this is saying like, finally, the resolutions to perhaps what has been blocking our progress, what has been holding us back, what has been stifling our ability to move forward and simultaneously causing some big time upheavals in our life. It's like whatever the issue has been or has been ongoing, it is resolving itself now. Saturn in a square to Uranus, you guys, this is a time of great tension, a desire for change that is thwarted by circumstances generally. We're talking about February 17th, June 14th, December 24th of 2021. Those are the other days last year when this aspect was exact. And I feel like now both these planets being retrograde, coming back into that square at these specific degrees, it's like the brush is being cleared for us to move forward into this new reality that we've been in the process of trying to create for ourselves, and that universe has been, shaking things up and moving us towards. And I feel like this is when we're about to start seeing perhaps more of like the silver linings and things, or, the blessings in disguise when we're talking about Uranus energy, where a lot of times it seems like the most terrible thing that could happen until later down the line when you're like, oh, thank God that happened because it actually led to this, and this. I feel like we are approaching that part of this Uranus square Saturn energy, and that resolving what still needs to be aligned, stemming from the big changes and upheavals that have been playing out over this past couple of years. Uranus in Saturn, structure and change in the square to each other, building tension, something obstructing us, something that is holding us back from liberating ourselves in alignment with our authentic truth and process of growth. This, I feel like, energy that we are moving towards when the square is coming back into effect is helping us to free ourselves from something that has been blocking our ability to realign with authentic truth, awakening. And I feel like it has a lot to do with breaking us out of these karmic cycles and these karmic loops of the past too, and helping us to really gain a conscious awareness and begin a more collaborative process of creating our experiences consciously going forward, as opposed to us just creating our experiences out of subconscious projections, which is really, what has been pulling the strings behind the scenes for the majority of the collective of humanity over this past 2,000-year period. So tensions building to unexpected radical actions. That is what we can expect in Mars square Saturn generally. But with both of these planets retrograde, I do think in Mars and Saturn also in the trine, some type of information, something we're learning, some type of shift in perspective, some reevaluation, reconfiguration of our mental state or ideas that are coming to us, solutions that are coming to us, I feel like are resolving or helping us to finally overcome some of these really difficult situations that we may have been navigating. This is giving us an opportunity again to clear out elements of our lives that are not working as well. And if you want to use this Saturn Uranus energy consciously and not sort of like have universe coming in and like clearing out what it feels needs to be cleared out for you, a good way to use this energy is to like actively engage in like removing what is no longer working in various areas of your life. If you can do that, that is a good way to use this energy so that, it doesn't have to happen in a like less predictable and comfortable way. We can also sort of like use this energy practically, tap into it, like sort of execute it on our own. And I feel like by doing that, we're sort of working with the flow of things and it has less of a tendency to just like come out of the blue and sort of like blow us into oblivion, which Uranus can have a tendency of doing. Definitely though, I really feel like, especially in the context of us being in Libra season right now and this huge emphasis on shifting relationship dynamics as a result of recognizing some type of massive personal truth is changing our preferences of things, which has been like the ongoing theme of these videos the past couple days. Definitely representing changes, breakups and relationships and situations where there is no willingness to change. We need to be flexible. We need to be willing to change. We need to be willing to go with the flow, and we need to be willing to also like kind of expect the unexpected and be willing to jump. Like if we find ourselves in a place where, there's no going back and we're on the edge of a precipice and the only way out is to jump, like that may be what universe is indicating for us right now. And spirit is there saying that, if we follow the guidance and take the initiative and take the action to make the change we know we need to make, then we are likely to kind of have a softer landing. Things are going to work out somehow for the better. But this is, it's most threatening to rigid routines and structures that are unwilling to adapt, unwilling to change, and unwilling to progress in this energy. This is like the lightning striking the tower energy. We're free, right? We're free from the walls, from the structures, Saturn, from what had been holding us in and limiting us and repressing us, but now we're sort of just like in a free fall. Like that really is how this energy is. Like it very, very much reminds me of the tower card in the tarot, this Saturn Uranus energy and these fixed signs, because it's like the tower. This is like we're trapped in the tower, right? We can't get out of the tower. It's restricting us. It's limiting us. It's holding us back. There's no way, there's no way in. There's no way out. We're stuck at the top of this tower and there's just this window and like there's literally nothing we can do. And then the lightning, this universal force, right, comes through and strikes the tower. And now the tower is crumbling and, we're out. We're free. We're not in the tower anymore. Like miraculously, like we have gotten out of that tower. But now we are just in this free fall plunge and we have no idea where we're going to land. We don't know what we're going to do when we land there. Like we've got no concept of what is to come next. But, all of a sudden, instantaneously, we have gone from being, captive to this situation where we were walled in, where we were blocked in, where there seemed nowhere out. And now we're definitely out. Like we're falling, like we're free, but we just don't know what's coming next. That is a very good analogy of how Uranus, Saturn, this energy is working together. And you may be able to apply that to the context of the past year and a half, 2 years in various areas of your life and see, the why that is a good metaphor. But yeah, that's really what's going on. People are being pushed to their breaking point in order to create change in this energy. And when we get to that point, a lot of times, often it's very scary. Uranus energy to me is probably some of the scariest energy that there is because it just introduces this huge element of unknown and it requires like undying faith. Like the Uranus energy, and this is the age of Aquarius as well, which makes sense because this is a age all about co-creation with God and universe, right? And that would require, and that also requires that like true undying faith. And that is really, I feel like, another aspect of the lessons that we're learning right now, and why these experiences have to be so harsh in a lot of cases, because they are really pushing us to the point where we have nothing left to ride on but our faith. And then ultimately, though, through that process, we are learning that we can trust that. And through the process of learning through these terrifying experiences or these difficult experiences, that we truly can trust that, then going forward, we know how real it is, and we can use it in our collaborative co-creative process with God, universe, spirit going forward, because we know we can trust and rely on that force, on that power, because when we had nothing else to rely on, and we were just in the state of free fall, somehow it ended up okay, and God caught us and everything worked out fine. I feel like this is the lessons that are required to teach us the skills that are necessary to make the most out of the energy that we are moving into now. So that's what I've got to say, you guys. What a month. What a month of September we've had. But it's going out with a bang. It is going out in some very big Jupiter energy, like I said. Mars, Saturn in the trine. This is master builder energy. We have got a lot of opportunities right now to really fix some things for ourselves. And the forest fire quenched. The new continent is rising from the ocean. The perils of the past, you guys, that had been preventing us from making any forward progress may be on the brink of being sort of alleviated. But that, that's not to say that it's just going to be an easy ride over the course of this rest of this year and into 2023. I don't think so. Like I've been saying, we're in a transition of ages right now, you guys, and it's going to be a bit of a bumpy road, but what we are discovering now, the big major push right now, is really about getting back in alignment with ourselves, because as we are going through this bumpy road, it's going to be very important that we know who we are, we know what we stand for, we know what our capabilities are, we know what our potential is, we know what we are, capable of creating and producing for ourselves, we know, what we need from others. It's just really important, because as the previous paradigm on a more physical level and the power and control matrices and dynamics of the past really begin to break down heading, throughout the rest of this year and into 2023, any little place where we can be more self-reliable or more resourceful or just feel more self-empowered based on our ability to, tap our own resource and do things for ourselves, I feel like is really going to do a lot to offset perhaps some of the fear that may be coming up over this period of time. So, it's very important that we are figuring out who we are, figuring out what we're good at, figuring out, our strengths and our weaknesses, and rebuilding our relationships and our communities in a way that really support everybody's growth through this process of self-actualization. Because the more empowered we can all be as individual humans at this period of time, the better transition that we are going to have through the breakdown of the past physical matrix and the reconstruction, the rebuilding of our new reality going forward. The more we can be in our own truth and in our own power and aware of our own potential and really tapping that and using it to create and to produce from that place of self-actualization and to serve to the greater good, this is really going to create a much more facilitated transition instead of more like a societal just breakdown across the board and people not knowing what to do as, the external power sources that were more so feeding them as a result of a lack of personal empowerment are sort of stripped away in this energy. So just something, just a note I wanted to throw in there as well, because that's really what this is all about. It's about showing us who we are, showing us what we do, what we can do, what we have the potential to do, and helping us to actually do that. Because it's, at the end of the day, it's us. It's each of us individually through our process of self-mastery and self-actualization that builds the new world in the age of Aquarius. So that's what I have to say today, you guys. Energy for Thursday, energy for Friday. I'm not going to do the tarot today because we had a 2-day message, but let's do a synchronicity card. Let's grab one synchronicity card and see a final word of advice, guidance from God's spirit universe that we should know going in or closing out our month of September. And the message says God's the boss. So that's all we need to know, you guys, at the end of the day. Who then is that faithful and wise steward? Luke 12:42. You must do your job joyously and faithfully in the knowledge that God is your boss. Your subconscious will then respond and promote you and remove obstacles to your success. Have a constructive vision. Be faithful to your vision and show respect for authority, and you will be prospered along all lines. And this honestly is the best advice we could have gotten, because this card right here is talking about the most productive way, the most productive mindset, the most productive attitude to have in this Mars trine Saturn energy. This is describing how we get the most out of the Mars trine Saturn vibe that we have going on right now. And with, like I was saying, the Jupiter influence that we have playing out simultaneously, this is playing right into that. And I feel like this message right here is really encapsulating a lot of just what we're going to be feeling and resonating with the general state of the vibe on Thursday and Friday. But this is really perfect advice, and this is how we want to use this energy. Have a constructive vision, be faithful to your vision, Jupiter, show respect for authority, Saturn, and you will be prospered along all lines. Like, I do feel like that. And we've been getting yesterday, or I think it was yesterday, for the tarot message, when we were talking about Mars and Saturn, we were getting the Ten of Pentacles coming out, talking about like that's where we're going towards prosperity. But like I was saying, like it's through this process of reconnecting to ourselves and figuring out how we can make that happen, and also trusting the process and being able to surrender, and God is the boss at this point in time, you guys. So that's what I have to say. Message from the stars, message from our little synchronicity card today. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys did like this video, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends if you guys think that they would be interested. I'm really trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, you guys. If you could just hit that button down below. If you are not subscribed already, I would really truly appreciate it. I have a Facebook page, a Facebook group, a website, and some other social media stuff. Those are in my description box below. And I really also truly value and appreciate your comments, you guys. Please leave me comments. I love hearing how this energy has affected you, what's coming up for you guys in this energy. I really appreciate it. I'm so grateful for your presence here. And come back with me. Like I said, tomorrow I will be putting out the video for, well, either tomorrow or Saturday, depending on how things go. This this retrograde energy, you guys, I'm not joking, has like totally thrown every aspect of my schedule off completely. It literally has been taking me like 3 hours longer to get things done on a daily basis than usual. But we're just going with it. And I'm kind of adjusted to it by this point in time. Anyways, it's just marking a little extra 3 hours in every day. It's all good. But anyways, I'll be here. You should be here too. We will have the next video coming up is the October overview. So you don't want to miss that one. Have a beautiful couple of days, everybody. And I will see you next time. Bye.